From the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8. Now the latest news. Kylie Conway has the latest news. The top headlines. News you can use.
Please stand by.
Sponsored by LCS Heating and Cooling. Now, here's Wish TV's Kylie Conway.
Hi, this is Kylie Conway, and this is the News 8 Daily 8 for Monday, March 1st. Cool start, mostly cloudy skies. We're in for plenty of sunshine this afternoon, with highs reaching the low to mid-40s. And overnight, 2 women were shot to death, the most recent of a string of weekend murders. And calls for police came from an apartment complex just after midnight near 38th and Post Road on the Far East Side. Police didn't give details about what happened before the shooting. They're now asking the community to help. Police have not named the victims. As far as the other shootings, Indianapolis police say 3 people were shot at Market and Pennsylvania Street, just 1 block east of Monument Circle. 1 person was found shot at the scenes. 2 other people walked into a nearby hospital who'd been shot. Then 2 hours after that, 1 person was shot on Meridian Street near South Street. Police say that victim's injuries are serious. And shipments of almost 4 million doses of the Johnson & Johnson one-shot vaccine are out right now. The first shots will then be administered tomorrow. John Lawrence reports this comes at a pivotal time as recent declines in new cases may be leveling out.
A third coronavirus vaccine could become available in the U.S. within the next few days.
The vaccine is highly effective in preventing severe COVID-19.
This one from Johnson & Johnson only requires a single dose.
This is going to increase immediately by somewhere between 70 to 80% our ability to deliver new shots to people every week. It's a big deal.
Health experts say the J&J vaccine will help get the nation toward a return to normalcy.
For the most severe and critical disease, hospitalizations and deaths, the performance was just as good. This is an outstanding vaccine.
Data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention shows just over 7.5% of the U.S. population is fully vaccinated, including Dr. Anthony Fauci, the director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases.
If I were not vaccinated now, and I had a choice of getting a J&J vaccine now or waiting for another vaccine, I would take whatever vaccine would be available to me.
But despite this process, health officials stress people still need to be cautious.
We're really right now in a race between variants and vaccines, and we have to do whatever we can to shut down this virus.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
And now to the choice of which vaccine to get. With 3 versions now, we're looking into how you can have a say on which shot goes into your arm. In Indiana, it comes down to your appointment destination. The clinics in Indiana decide if they have Pfizer, Moderna, or soon-to-be Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccines. You can't choose, but you can choose your clinic. When you go to the state's one-shot website to sign up, you can see what shot is offered at each location. If only one type is available and you have a preference, then you can pick where to go. That's what one Indy couple is doing to be sure they only get the one-shot Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Hannah Mordell reports.
I'm 27.
Vivian and Steve Morrell are Indianapolis grandparents in their 60s.
We don't talk this early in the morning.
And like most Hoosiers,
we can get back to some normalcy.
They're longing for normal life and were thrilled when Indiana extended the COVID-19 vaccine eligibility to their age group last week.
Oh, it's been a roller coaster of emotions.
But with news that the Johnson & Johnson vaccine would soon be an option, they decided to wait a few extra days.
Waiting for the Johnson & Johnson one.
Why is that?
Well, because mostly we just want the one shot.
One and done. Unlike the Moderna and Pfizer vaccines, Johnson & Johnson only requires one shot. The 2-dose versions are both 95% protective against symptomatic COVID-19. Johnson & Johnson's 1 dose is 86% effective against severe COVID-19, but effectiveness drops to 72% when moderate cases are included.
Johnson & Johnson was 72%, and the others were like 95. I'm like, I said, I've been waiting for this for so long.
It's something Steve and Vivian are keeping in mind.
I'm not friends with needles, but I'll take one if I had to.
The couple says at first they were hesitant about all the vaccines, but what matters most is getting protected, not only for themselves, but everyone else.
These are our grandchildren, our pride and joy.
Like a lot of us, COVID-19 has hit close to home.
Being separated from friends and family, and we lost some people to COVID, and you can't hug and love on people like you used to.
Now that hug is on the horizon, one shot away.
One and done.
One and done.
The Morels hope to get their one shot this week. Johnson & Johnson is now testing 2 doses of its vaccine, and if it's deemed better, people who get this one shot will be offered another. And the pace of vaccinations is expected to increase with now this third available vaccine. As of yesterday, the CDC reports almost 25 million people are fully vaccinated. Almost 50 million have received their first dose. Currently, 1.7 million vaccine doses are given daily in the U.S. based on the 7-day average. And feeling freedom after 2 doses. 2 people who are fully vaccinated can now feel confident to gather together with minimal risk. That's according to Dr. Anthony Fauci. The CDC has not released guidelines about gathering with other vaccinated people, but Fauci explains there are some things people should feel comfortable doing.
You could have dinner in a home without masks on. You could have friends who you know are doubly vaccinated and are protected together with you. So you can start doing things essentially in the home, in a setting where you're not out in the community where there are 70,000 new infections per day.
Fauci says fully vaccinated people should not dine at restaurants or go into places like a theater. He advises people to wait until the fall when more people are vaccinated. Today, the Noblesville Fire Department will start to vaccinate people who cannot leave their homes. It's part of the Homebound Hoosier EMS program. As we've reported, the program uses paramedics to drive to people who cannot go out for the shot themselves. There are 16 people scheduled on Noblesville's list. We posted a link where you can register for the program on wishtv.com. And restrictions on restaurants and bars loosened today in Indianapolis and all of Marion County. In fact, the number of people allowed inside bars goes from 25 to 50% capacity. Seating for indoor restaurants increases from 50 to 75% capacity. Music venues and gyms can open at 50%. Bars, restaurants, and music venues can now stay open until 2 in the morning instead of midnight. Today, the Indiana Black Legislative Caucus is calling for Black organizations to gather at the State House. The organization wants people to voice their concerns about legislation and show support for the IBLC's demands for implicit bias training and reprimands after recent heated debates in the State House. The caucus says the days of action run today through March 4th and March 8th through the 11th. Participants are expected to gather at 10 o'clock this morning. Indiana's first ever Chief Equity, Inclusion, and Opportunity Officer says eliminating systemic bias in the state will take some time. Cara Herring accepted the job in November. She says she's setting short-term goals for the coming months and more for 1 year out, and cautions it will take some time to see results.
And when we start to see people who have varying views sit at the table together to have a conversation around equity and improvements for our state, without the tense moments, without the unfortunate situations where we're not hearing one another. When we start to see those moments become more normalized, I think that's when we'll really start to feel like we're making some headway.
You can hear Herring's full interview from All Indiana Politics now on wishtv.com. You can watch that every Sunday at 9:30 in the morning. The U.S. Senate takes up a $1.9 trillion COVID relief bill this week. The House passed it over the weekend along party lines. The Senate can add, change, or kill parts of it. A minimum wage bump is almost certain to die. The Senate parliamentarian decided it should not be in the package. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell is blasting House Democrats for passing the bill. He says in a statement, Democrats jammed through a bill that even liberal economists and editorial boards say is not well targeted to this stage of the fight. Democrats say it has strong support from all sides.
There were 10 Republican senators who were the first senators to sit down in the Oval Office with President Biden. This bill has the support not just of 76% of all Americans, but 60% of all Republicans in recent polling.
That's Delaware Senator Chris Coons. He's referring to poll numbers from Morning Consult and Politico showing 17% of all voters oppose the measure. All others either support it or are not sure.
Searching for a romantic summer getaway? Escape with Rich Girl Summer, the new Audible original from Lily Chu. The exquisitely talented Philippa Sue, returning to narrate her 5th Lily Chu title. This time, Philippa is joined by her real-life husband, Stephen Pasquale. Set in Toronto's wealthy cottage country, aka the Hamptons of Canada, Rich Girl Summer follows the story of Valerie, a down-on-her-luck event planner posing as a socialite's long-lost daughter, while piecing together the secrets surrounding a mysterious family and falling deeper and deeper in love with the impossibly hard-to-read and infuriatingly handsome family assistant, Nico. Caught between pretending to belong and unexpectedly finding where she truly fits in, Valerie learns her summer is about to get far more complicated than she ever planned. She's in over her head and head over heels. Listen to Rich Girl Summer now on Audible. Go to audible.com/richgirlsummer.
Former President Trump took center stage for the first time since the end of his term. The Conservative Political Action Conference, CPAC, in Orlando closed yesterday with a speech from Trump.
I stand before you today to declare that the incredible journey we begun together, we went through a journey like nobody else. There's never been a journey like it. There's never been a journey so successful. We began it together 4 years ago, and it is far from being over.
During his speech, Trump denied starting a new political party. He told the crowd that the Republican Party is going to unite and, in his words, be stronger than ever before. CPAC ran an unscientific 2024 Republican presidential straw poll. Trump won. 55% of attendees picked him as their favorite candidate. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis came in second with 21%. South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem finished in a distant third with 4%. Today, the Biden administration is set to make an announcement on relations with Saudi Arabia. It comes after a declassified U.S. intelligence report found Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman likely approved the killing of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. Khashoggi was killed and dismembered at the Saudi consulate in Istanbul in 2018. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki says the administration would hold Saudi Arabia accountable, but just not with sanctions.
We believe there is more effective ways to make sure this doesn't happen again, and to also be able to leave room to work with the Saudis on areas where there is mutual agreement, where there is interest, national interest for the United States.
Khashoggi is a graduate of Indiana State University. Saudi Arabia's foreign ministry called the intelligence report on his death an offensive and incorrect assessment. The civilian elected leader of Myanmar, Burma, is appearing in court today. It comes a day after the deadliest crackdown by security forces on unarmed, peaceful demonstrators since a military coup on February 1st. 18 people died yesterday. 30 more people were injured. Protesters are demanding that the nation's army gives back power to the civilian government. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo says he is sorry for his behavior with women. He's now acknowledging reports of harassment for the first time. Cuomo says he would cooperate with a sexual harassment investigation led by the state's attorney general. Both claims lodged against Cuomo are by two former staff members. Cuomo denies the allegations. He said he may have teased people and made jokes about their personal lives in an attempt to be playful. Cuomo said he understands that some of his interactions had been insensitive or too personal. Kobe Bryant's widow wants a judge to name names. Vanessa Bryant is asking a court to publicly release the names of sheriff's deputies who took or shared pictures of the aftermath of the helicopter crash that killed her husband, daughter, and 7 other people. It's part of a federal lawsuit against the department claiming negligence and invasion of privacy. Vanessa Bryant says the deputies need to be held accountable. Tiger Woods saw all the red over the weekend. That's the heart of a new message posted to the Golf Greats Twitter account Sunday evening. It says, "It's hard to explain how touching today was when I turned on the TV and saw all the red shirts." Across both the PGA and LPGA, many pro golfers wore Woods' trademark red and black look Sunday. Woods is recovering from severe leg injuries suffered in an SUV crash last week. People are using social media to help a man who lost his father's Super Bowl ring in Greensburg. Mike Kostelnick's father played for the Green Bay Packers when the team won its first 2 Super Bowls. Now, Kostelnick is offering a $5,000 reward to find the ring. He believes he lost the ring at Greensburg, Indiana BP gas station. It's the last place he remembers seeing it. The ring belonged to his father, Ron Kostelnick, a former Green Bay Packer defensive tackle. It's a family heirloom he wears proudly daily. He says so far the amount of help he's gotten over social media has been amazing.
We ended up going back to Greensburg, was not at the gas station. I'm not proud to be going viral on such an embarrassing situation, but I am very pleased and kind of a little bit taken aback by the amount of people that have graciously decided to move this story forward.
Kostelnick says his father wore the ring every day before he died in 1993. He left the ring to Mike, who's worn it every day since. Now that it's gone, he feels like a piece of his dad is missing too. If you find the ring, you're asked to call a representative from the Packer Hall of Fame. We have that number and information on wishtv.com. Starting today, the Indianapolis Zoo is open 7 days a week. It was closed Mondays and Tuesdays in January and February. From now until the 18th, the zoo will be open daily from 9 to 4. Then, starting March 19th, it stays open an hour later on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The zoo is still on limited capacity, so you need to make a reservation to go, and masks are required in most areas of the zoo. Now to business headlines. Lilly shares are higher in the pre-market this morning and were higher Friday. The Biden administration bought 100,000 doses of its combination antibody treatment for high-risk COVID-19 patients. Under the deal, the government will pay $210 million, and Lilly will ship out the doses by the end of March. The increased supply of such drugs for patients who are high risk of becoming seriously ill but are not yet hospitalized. In just 1 week since the tax filing period opened on February 12th, the IRS received nearly 35 million individual tax returns, that's according to the agency. People may be racing to file in the hopes that they'll soon get a refund, especially those who are financially set back by the pandemic last year. Natera is a biotech company that made its name in maternal fetal medicine. Now CEO Steve Chapman says the same technology used to detect genetic abnormalities in early pregnancy could be used to detect recurrence of cancer with a simple blood test.
And we've shown our technology works extremely well. We've published on over 2,000 patients. We have 8 peer-reviewed publications where we can detect cancer recurrence up to 8 months sooner than what you can normally do with imaging.
Chapman says because of the non-invasive nature of these tests, that they will be able to be performed at home. The Salvation Army says donations over Christmas were up 27% despite the pandemic. Charities were worried about donations as many people were out of work, and the Salvation Army especially was concerned since so much of their collections take place at malls and transit centers. The Salvation Army brought in $557 million in 2020, and that money will help pay for food, shelter, and social services to more than 30 million Americans. And a Harvard study says it's easy to be overwhelmed by all the things on your plate. That can make you cranky. The study recommends logging how you spend your time and then cutting out the things that don't make you happy. And the study was really breaking down how money is not the key to success, to happiness, I should say. It was more about what's on your plate and how to cut down the things in your life that do not matter. Okay, let's move on to sports here. Butler finishes strong and delivers a big upset over the 8th-ranked Villanova Wildcats. There was a back-and-forth start yesterday at Hinkle Fieldhouse. Butler's offense got hot. Bulldogs used an 11-0 run at the end of the first half to get momentum going into the second half. Final score, 73-61. Now the Butler men's basketball team will have the chance to finish the season with 3 straight wins ahead of the Big East tournament. The Bulldogs' final game of the season is Saturday at number 13th-ranked Creighton. As far as the Indiana Hoosiers, it's not that good of news. Time is running out for them to build up their NCAA tournament resume. IU has now lost 3 games straight. Next up, Michigan State. The Hoosiers will look to get some revenge tomorrow night from the Spartans beating them a week ago. On Saturday, IU will play Purdue in West Lafayette for the final game of the regular season. And before IU does get to town, Purdue is looking to win its 4th straight. The Boilermakers will host the Wisconsin Badgers tomorrow night. Head coach Matt Painter says his bench players are really stepping up here late in the season. And as far as the bracket, the Boilermakers will most likely see their name on that bracket. Of course, you might have seen that big bracket that they have on the JW Marriott downtown here in Indy. It is almost done as of this morning. Just a few places on the bottom that need to be filled in. So we will soon know who's going to be in all those first round slots. The NCAA tweeted this weekend saying it took an estimated 20 hours just to print the bracket that you see up there on the JW. So just keep that in mind. We saw some window washer platforms up there today with people putting those finishing touches on this morning. We're taking live looks on Daybreak, looking over that progress, and it looks great. I'll never understand how they figure out doing all of that and the engineering behind it. Pretty impressive stuff. Have a great day, everybody. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 for Wish TV. I'm Kylie Conway, online at wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook when you search Wish TV.
The News 8 Daily 8 is sponsored by LCS Heating and Cooling. Be sure to like and subscribe to this podcast, The News 8 Daily 8 with Kylie Conway. And be sure to discover even more great podcasts now at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.